Hello and welcome to a special edition of What Is It About? This time around we've got the Marshall JCM 800. This is the 50 watt version. I purchased it in February 1984. So I'm guessing it was built in 1983 or the back end of 1983. For those, again, locally, you might remember Hobbs Music if you're of a certain vintage, and he was a big Marshall dealer at the time, and I got an incredible deal on this. I think I've talked about this before, but I did get an incredible deal on it. And it's proved to be an incredibly reliable amplifier, this thing. So, in all those years, it's been revalved once, and I know I'm going to probably get a stick in the comments for that, but the original valve sounded so great that I just kept it going. So yeah, it's been down to Marshall. It went down from Marshall for a checkup in 2010. Since then, it's just made sporadic live appearances and rehearsals when I just felt like it. I mean, it is a classic amp, and my two lads will inherit it when I am in that great gig in the sky. So yes, I hope they keep hold of it, because they're still around. They're still for sale and stuff. Reverb and the eBay and the usual suspects, but they're getting less and less available. And I suppose that's just the longevity of it. So this amp what's this amp now? 38 years old. So gives you an idea of the quality that Marshall were putting out at the time. Now, again, I'm probably risking it here, but I believe this is I think it's a printed circuit board, ham-wired kind of hybrid of an amp. So there's a lot of ham wiring in this thing, but it is just to keep the cost down. There's a little bit of printed circuit board in it. It weighs an absolute ton, but it's a proper old Marshall amp. Now the JCM 800 was it's been regarded by most people as the saviour of the Marshall amp company, which seems a little odd thinking back, because every stage had one of these things on it back in the day. And no, they, during sort of punk era through into the late 70s, the star was fading a little bit. They decided to, well, Jim Marshall, I believe, decided to go all in and produce the mega heavy Marshall amp, which is the JCM 800 series. Now, I think the 800 really relates to the fact it's an 80s design. I could be wrong on that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, these were built during the 80s. There's different designs. I've seen Michael Schenker live loads of times, and he uses these, but he uses the one that's got the two like that. I think it's got a clean and a dirty channel, maybe even some reverb on it. I can't remember. Might be muddling my facts here again, but he definitely uses. I think it's got more gain in it. That's why he uses it. But it's, in essence, it's the same kind of idea. So yeah, this is one of the earlier models because it's got the vertical inputs in it. You've got a high and you've got a low. I'm in the high because I'm not going to arse around playing clean sounds through a flipping Marshall. So yeah, controls are here. We've got this presence, that's in the middle. Bass is in the middle. Bass is quite powerful for a Marshall amp. You normally don't, it can be a little bit hit and miss. Middle's on 7, treble's on 7, and master is on an astonishing 5, and we'll come to that in a minute, which would normally deafen. If you were in the 412 go, it would just deafen you. Preamp is on about, looks like it's in about 8, around about the 8 mark there. This is around the sweet spot on this amp for me. So I like to turn the volume back and clean up the sound a bit. So enough waffling, to do some playing, but first I want to just explain the volume thing. We're going into this incredible device here called the Captor, the Two Notes Captor X. So we're going into that, and we're going into the Focusrite preamp, and that is connected to these two monitor speakers. But the cabinet setting on the Two Notes here, it's for a full kind of sounding clean, not clean, no effects, just dry sounding, big 412 kind of sound. So let's give it a little strum. Oh yes, oh yes. I'm not gonna get the ACD police on my back today. Is that enough? We'll find out. If the video gets pulled, we'll know that there are geniuses that can recognise that's a whole lot of flipping what's-her-face just from those two notes. Is that going to be enough to get me in trouble with the Zet police? Probably, but I don't care. I'm in a good mood today. The sun is shining and we got this babe out, so this. So yeah, what are the qualities of the JCM 800 and what's the reasoning behind it? Well, it's just sheer brute power, really, isn't it? Basically, there's no other flipping amplifier that will get you going just mid-range grind on a basic E5 power chord. I did this on the, if you've seen the orange, what is it about orange amps demo I did. Oh, I'm just getting a little bit clipping there on this thing. Yeah, thank you. Good girl, good girl. If you saw the orange amps one I did, what is it about orange amps, I did the Saxon riff, that didn't get pulled, so maybe you want to look at that one again and can compare the two. So I'll play the Wheels of What's It riff, and you can see the difference between the orange sound and the Marshall sound. This is all low mids, mid-range grind as far as I'm concerned. How Marshall is this? Ted Nugent fans out there? Applied a little bit of boost courtesy of the boost side of the Dane, my Suhr effects. How does this mother father clean up? Take the boost off. That's why I love old Marshalls. Does it sound like I've got a bit of the old delay alarmer on? Bit of wobs. Takes effects very well. Try that again because it was a dog's din-dins. Lovely bit of wobble from the Jam Harmonious Monk. So yeah, the Marshall thing for me though, yeah, you can clean it up, you can go full blast, but it can be really exceptional when you want the crunchy sounds. No idea what I'm playing, I'm just marching around, but you get the picture. You have to use your volume knob on your guitar. That's the idea with these old amps. So yeah, no channel switching here. We've got 1, 2, 3, just six controls and the 2 inputs. Happy flipping days. In the back there you've got the 12, I think it's the C83s and the preamps, 12 AX7s if you want to call them that, and 2 EL34s. The 100 had 4 EL34s. Basically that's the only difference. And I played in bands where the other guitar players had the 100 watt JCM 800, and this, I'd say it's a little slightly thinner sound, in which I actually like, you know, because when you clean it up and get a bit of jangle, but it's hardly any quieter at all. In fact, it isn't really. It's just as cutting. It's just as mega loud. The 100s are a bit more full on, more rounded, but these 50s are more versatile in my opinion, and you can get a bit more crunch going at lower volumes, you know. Live, I used to, live through the 412 Marshall cab, I had it on an astonishing 2.5 on a good day if I could get away with it, and that was deafening. You know, you could turn the preamp gain down a little bit, but these aren't really, I mean, maybe this is flattering a bit with through the Captor X, etc. They're not high gain amps really. You need pedals for certain occasions, lead stuff. So that's one. Let's. I think that might have been a swear, and I apologise profusely. Let's plonk. That's the Thorpe again. I am driving this input quite hard here, so. Let's turn that down a bit. So with the Thorpe boost side of the Dane, the Thorpe Dane with the boost side on. Not monster amounts of gain. Good for riffing. Overdrive side with it. Don't like that much gain. Onwards, onward. Got a reverb on the Captor X now. Superb fuzz. These speakers can't. These speakers can't really handle it. They're struggling. Well, that's the power of the Marshall. the speakers in. Put it out. So yeah, the Marshall JCM 800, the 50 watt version, circa 83, early 84. So should it be a Hall of Famer? Of course it should. It's an amp that saved an entire amp company. Turned the reputation right round, and the new wave of British heavy metal, well, these were absolutely everywhere. And we all had to have one at the time. I mean, the days of rubbish PAs and that, you know, was rarely mic'd up. Yeah, you had to have one of these things. It can compete with virtually any amp on the planet in terms of volume and cutting through. Awesome thing. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'd just like to say thanks for the 1,000 views mark. I'm not into stats. It's our Charlie. He looks at my analytics more than I do. He told me I was over 1,000. I'm really pleased. If you haven't subscribed, maybe you'd like to think about subscribing. But to be honest with you, this channel's not about all that. It's not about the egos. It's, you know, it's about rock, guitar, blues, guitar, prog, old gear, new gear, and just being honest in the room doing it. I mean, I had a few technical hitches there with the Captor X and these crappy speakers, but you get the general impression that this is still a monster of an amp, and it feels quite warm. So I'm going to turn it off before it explodes. So just remains me to say tatty bye.